Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here, and we're back with another review on cult classics. And hey, today we're looking at Fast 9. Will there be rocket cyborgs, space aliens, or is it just about family? Find out in a minute. Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here, and yeah, we just saw Fast 9 or F9 The Fast Saga. So I definitely have thoughts on this movie. Me and a couple of my friends in the critics group here in Phoenix, we had like pretty much like an hour plus discussion of this movie after it ended, because my god, there's a lot to talk about in this movie. Here's the thing. The Fast and the Furious films have reached this point where they're essentially critic-proof. Just because they've gotten so far away from what they started off as, which was basically Point Break with cars. And, we've got now movies where, The Rock goes to Samoa and has, like, an entire tribe fight, car smugglers and Cyborg, Idris Elba. And, this movie has, Cardi B leading a mercenary unit of hot chicks who Tom gets to be his private SWAT team for a stealth op. It has rocket ship cars that literally go into space. Not rockets that get you over a building. No, rockets that get you into space so the people driving them can crash into a satellite and get rescued by astronauts. I mean, I'm not telling you who's involved. I mean, some of these are small spoilers, but in the scheme of things, it's a mind-boggling movie. That's the basis of any thought going into this movie. This movie is mind-boggling. I mean, yeah. So the basic crux of this movie is after F8. Dominic and Letty have retired to the country with their son, living off the grid, until like a random assortment of characters from the Fast and the Furious movies, Ramsey, Tez, and Roman, show up to their house and tell them that Kurt Russell's Mr. Nobody character sent them a communique, and his doomsday weapon is lost in a country called Monte Quinto, which I have not looked up. And there's at least 3 places in this movie, Monte Quinto being one of them, the other is Tbilisi, where I'm like, are these even real places? Because I've never heard of them. Like, they could just be like Madripoor or Genosha in Marvel Comics, If they end up being real, call me ignorant, but literally never heard of Monte Quinto. Never heard of Tbilisi, okay? And these are 2 prominent locations in this movie. So yeah, and Dom's like, nah, dog, I like my peace and quiet. And then, but Letty's like, I'm not me unless I'm doing stunts. And there's a lot of characters doing things to advance the story forward against their personality. Because, yeah, later Dom reviews this video of Kurt Russell sending this communique, and he sees this specific cross that he happens to have a cross of. And, it turns out that, Dom's long-lost brother might be involved, do you think? I mean, the movie does start with a flashback, and I'll give props. The kid who plays teenage Dom does look like kind of what you would expect teenage Dom to look like, and props and thank God to them for not using de-aging for this, because these three characters, Vin Diesel, John Cena, and a mechanic named Buddy, who later shows up as Michael Rooker, are played by completely different actors in the flashback. So thankfully there's no bad de-aging going on. But the basic crux of the movie is there's a doomsday weapon. It's called Ares, and it takes over all computers and lets whoever controls it bomb everyone. It's the reach of this weapon is unbelievably like MacGuffin worthy. So they all get on their plane. They go to this fictional country, possibly real country. Manage to liberate the weapon from the still smoking crash, even though literally it's probably been days since this plane crashed, but whatever. And yeah, the military's all after them. They have to get to the border, and then at some point, oh shit, there's John Cena, Dom's long-lost brother. And he gets part of the weapon. So then our fearless crew of people, which includes Ramsey, who's played by the actress who played Missandei on Game of Thrones, and Tez, and Roman, Tyrese. It's interesting how many musicians are actually in this movie. Hook up with Dom and Letty and Mia all of a sudden, who's it's personal because their brother's involved, and thankfully Paul Walker's character Brian is going to take care of Dom and Mia's kids, which is how they write him out of this movie. It's a problem they need to address, especially when other characters who have been killed in the series show up in flashbacks, even using stock footage, because Gal Gadot's in here, but yeah, they really have to write around Paul Walker's character in this movie, and it's a little embarrassing, and that's pretty much what I'm going to leave it at, because it's silly how they put themselves into this situation. And we see the return of Sean from Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, and now he's building rockets. And then, we see Shaw's mom, Helen Mirren. It's basically, here's what it is. I'm dancing around this. Basically, Vin Diesel and company have turned this movie into a Mission Impossible movie. Where there's so many characters in the Fast and the Furious universe that they kind of like can pick and choose which characters are in each movie, yet they still keep writing themselves specifically into corners where like they have to address the Brian / Paul Walker situation, and they didn't need to in this movie. They just put themselves in that situation. It's the Mission Impossible thing is a smart idea, but when you put yourself in, it's like, where's Brian? Like, it's a Poochie scenario. Characters shouldn't be asking where this character played by an actor who's passed away should be. Right around that, We know this actor has passed away. Don't keep reminding us of this in this fantastical movie where a character whose death they couldn't wave away and had to make 3 prequels suddenly shows up out of the blue like, hey, sup, dog? And the best they can do is, oh yeah, postcard. Which there's a postcard subplot that leads in this movie that's literally ripped straight up ripped off from Mission Impossible 3. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a rip off of Mission Impossible 3. But yeah, and then we have the when you have a movie series like Fast and the Furious, where literally all of the movie's heroes are the villains of the past movies, you end up with this scenario where like, well, how long is it going to be till John Cena becomes one of the good guys? I'll leave that to you, but I think you can figure that out on your own. And then we have, the movie's real villains, which are, Cypher again, Charlize Theron needing to make a big mortgage payment or something, and this other character named Otto, who's supposed to be a Eurotrash son of a dictator, whose country is never named, so they don't have issues with box office in that country. This movie is a lot like Pacific Rim 2, where you can clearly tell the U.S.'s box office is important, but not as important as that sweet, sweet China money. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to say this, too. It's one of these movies where, like, You literally do have to turn your brain off at the door. That's not to say it's not entertaining, because it is. There's characters in this movie who openly question how they can possibly still be alive after everything that's happened to them in past movies, and their answer is, well, shit, I must be immortal. Literally, this is a thing that happens in this movie. Like, how did I get shot 14 times and not have even a scratch on me? A conversation that happens in F9 The Fast Saga, right there. But you know what? Despite all that, it's a fun movie. It's fun. It's fun to see a Pontiac Fiero become a rocket ship that can be maneuvered yet driven like a car. It happens in this movie. It's crazy to see, a movie where both of the leads are white guys, yet in the flashbacks are Hispanic, and a character actually has to address this in dialogue by mentioning, they're your exotic bloodline. No, you hired two white guys to play Latinos, and now you've made it a plot point, so someone has to address it. Just, oh my god, this is that movie. This is that movie that if you, think too hard about it, it will literally break your brain. It will break your brain. But it's still a Fast 9 movie. There is no hologram Paul Walker in it. So those are two positives in my book. Does do multiple conversations about the meaning of family happen in this movie? Yes. Over and over and over again. Are they aware it's meme worthy? Yes. Do characters go to Japan and it's clearly a backlot? Yes. Despite the fact that they travel to London, they just no, our Tokyo's gonna be a backlot in stock footage. Okay. Yeah, I'm broken, guys. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know it, because you can't shit talk this movie. It is completely aware of what it is, and you know what it is going in. You've seen Too Fast, Too Furious. You've seen Tokyo Drift. These are these movies, okay? That's what they are, and at least they own up to it. I've seen freaking The Rock and Jason Statham have a movie where they're arguing about who gets to beat up Cyborg Idris Elba, and the trailer has "Why can't we be friends" in it. Okay? These are these movies. It's not a condemnation of them. They exist. In the 80s, they had, the Cannonball Run. We have the Fast Saga. And I think you should watch it, because you're going to have fun conversations about it. You want to see the weirdest elaborate death dream sequence you will ever see in a movie, and then wonder how it possibly happened. You know what? It's in here, okay? And I'm not trying to spoil the movie. I can't. There's nothing I can tell you in this movie that will actually spoil it, because it sounds like I'm lying. It does. Every crazy thing in this movie sounds insane. Do they forget to rescue the person they were trying to rescue at the beginning of the movie? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I literally do not know. Okay. Do you know that if a car goes X amount of speed, landmines won't affect it? Maybe. Alright, but yeah, without saying anything more, Fast 9, it's a fun movie. It's dumb popcorn fun. Get fucking high before you see it, drink a beer, something. You will enjoy it. You'll probably enjoy it a little bit more if you are a little inebriated. I don't know. It's not shitty. I mean, it is, but it's not. God damn. Because I'm rambling, there's a couple times where I'm like, should I just start over on this review? And I'm like, no, this is from my heart, people. This is from my heart. Yeah, I don't know. I will say this. There's a few moments in this movie where you get a flavor of what the original Fast and the Furious was. And then once you experience that, you're like, that's how this series started. It's a movie about people who do street races. And now it's a movie about people who build rockets to go to space, to stop death satellites. I don't know. Maybe that's what this movie's about. Maybe it's about family. Hey, that's altogether possible. I just know I watched it. You watched it. You'll experience F9 The Fast Saga. And there will be an F10 and probably an F11. Yeah, I don't know. It's in theaters. Go watch it. If you enjoyed this ramble, please subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.